GDC can be a really useful tool with evaluating algebraic expressions in one variable. So if we have a look at this one here, we've got m equals the square root of n squared over 3n minus 1. So what you'll notice here is there's only one variable here. So that's what we're looking at this afternoon. Okay, so if you were going to do this, first thing we do, of course, is substitute our point A for n. So let's do that now. Good communication, 0.8 squared over 3 times 0.8 minus 1. Okay, now I want to just point out to you here within our square root sign, we want to do this subtraction before that division. So I'm going to put my parentheses around there. That'll make sure that my graphing calculator will do this subtraction and get the answer to that before doing that there. All right, so let's go through and have a look what a normal calculator would be. So I'm going to open up my square root. So second, there we go. So 0.8 squared divided by, now I'm going to remember to open my parentheses. Every time you open a parentheses, you've got to remember to close it. So I've got 3 times 0.8 minus 1. Now I'm going to close my parentheses there. And now have a look here. I've got open, close, but I've opened that parentheses there under the square root. So I've got to close that parentheses. So I've got to remember to put my closure there. So this is now calculating the square root of that entire big parentheses there, which is what we've got over here. Okay, so let's press that to there. And we have, let's have a look to 3 significant figures. I'll put my approximately equal to 0.676. Okay, now we're going to have a look at another way that you can use your GDC apart from this big long thing here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to enter this as a function. So instead of m and n, you might want to think about it as x and y, because we can only enter variables as y and x here. So it's sort of like having y equals the square root of x squared over 3x minus 1. Okay, so this is where x is equal to 0.8. Right, so I'm going to enter this expression here. So once again, I'm going to open my square root. So I'm going to put my x squared on the top line, so this one here, x squared, divided by, now once again I've got to remember to put my parentheses around there, so 3x minus 1, close, let me go back here and insert my parentheses, there we go. Alright, but as you'll notice here, we've got that square root that opens the parentheses. Well, I've got to remember to close that parentheses there. Okay, and now I'm going to actually graph what this would look like here. So I'm just on a standard number plane there from minus 10 to 10 in both directions. I don't really like the look of that. So as you can see, we don't need any of this over here. So I'm just going to go to my window for a moment, change my x min to 0. My y min to 0. Let me go back and see if that gives me a better window. Oh, it does a little bit. You could even make this y value lower. So I might even go back one more time and make my y value 5. Let's go back and graph that. Okay, so that looks like a pretty nice window. And now we are going to use the calc menu. Okay. So the calc menu is up here, it's above the trace. So if I go in and do second trace, the first thing I see here is value. This allows me to find the value of any expression I put into my y equals menu. So if I go here, it's saying, okay, here's your graph. I can tell you any y value if you give me an x value. So what is our x value here? We want to see when x is equal to 0.8. So I'm going to put 0.8 here. Enter. And there we go, there is our y value there. It found, and you can see it pulsing there, on the graph of this at x equals 0.8, our y is 0.676, exactly what we got before. Okay, let's go and do another one. Let me go up to here. This time, I'm just going to do, you could substitute that in. Well, let's go and do a quick substitution. y equals 2 outside of 3 times 3 minus 2 plus 3 squared. Let's do this one by hand. We've got 2 outside of 9 minus 2 plus 9. 9 minus 2 is 7, so we've got 2 times 7 plus 9. 14 plus 9 is 23. So we've got a value of 23. Okay, so let's go and see what it looks like here. Let's go and clear that one. Once again, I've only got one variable here in this expression, a variable for x. Given x, I can find my y. So I'm going to put this in to my y equals menu. So let's do that. We've got 2 times, parentheses, 3x minus 2, close parentheses, plus x squared. Okay. So now let's go and have a look at the graph of that one. Okay, I don't like that window, so let me go and just see what my standard would look like here. So let's go and graph that. Okay, so we seem to have it down here. You might want to change this a little bit, so I'm going to go into my window, make my y min, so minus 16. Let's go and graph that. There we go, we've got a decent window there for our graph. All right, let's go and do what we did before. Let's go into our calc menu. So second calc, get my value. This time I wanted it for x equals 3, x equals 3, and I get 23. So I know I'm right there. See, the advantage of this is I can go in and do another one. I'm going to my calc menu again. What about if we want when x is equal to -2? So let's put -2 in there. Oh, look at this, it even puts my cursor. When x is -2, when I put -2 in here, my y value is -12. Fabulous. Let's do another one. What about x equals -15? So let's go in calc. X equals -15. Okay, we get an invalid dimension here. Okay, the reason being, if we go to that, -15, if I go to my window, the minimum value I've got here in my x values currently is -10. See? X min, -10. If I go back to my graph, so if I'm trying to calculate the value outside of the x window here, I have to adjust my window first. So let's go up to window here. I wanted to go to -15, so I'm going to make my x min -16. Let me go back and graph that again. So I extended my x out here. So now let me go and see if I can get the value of x equals -15. So now -15 is here, so it's on my window. Let me see if I can get a value for it. There we go. Even though 131, the y value is up here, as long as the x value is in the window, you're going to be okay. Alright guys, I hope that was a helpful little tool for you to have a look at how your graphing calculator can help with substitution. Bye.